beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I want to share some of my favorite green things with you. Green is not just for St. Patrick's Day. This is a way of life. I have become a green girly. It used to be a color that I shied away from and I was scared of, and I felt like I didn't know how to use it. It didn't look good on me, and I have embraced green so much that last year I did a collaboration palette that was like half green. Remember this one? Yeah, look how green that is. So in honor of me becoming a green girly, and who knows, maybe you're newly discovering your love of green. Maybe you have been a long time green lover. Either way, I have so many green things that I love now. I'm currently wearing this Nomad Ireland palette, and I just have green eyeliners that I love. Who knew that would be a phrase? Green nail polish, all kinds of stuff. I thought it would be fun to share it, not only in honor of St. Patrick's Day, but also kind of on the heels of my favorite silvers video that I did not too long ago. I had a lot of fun making that one, and I feel like I need to make some more monochromatic videos. Monochromatic makeup fell out of style for a while, and you know what? Even if it's not back, it's back for me. So let's dive into some of my favorite green things. Let's start off with some of my favorite green nail polishes. Yes, I did repaint my nails specifically for the close-ups for this video, and I have a wide range of different kinds of greens here. I can pretty much guarantee whatever your favorite style of green is, I probably have a recommendation for you in this video. Let's start off with this Orly polish called Elysian Fields. This is what I call a green bean green. It reminds me of the warm toned, very golden undertones of like those school lunch green beans. You know what I'm talking about? That probably makes this color sound a lot less appealing than it actually is, but I love this murky, swampy type of green. I think this is really flattering on a lot of different people in both nail polish and eyeshadow. It's giving Melt Gemini vibes. We have another Orly polish here. This one is very shimmery, quite a bit deeper than the last one. This one's called Faux Fur. I absolutely love a color like this that's really, really dark, so it doesn't look like a colorful shade on first glance. It definitely looks like it's probably a black or a dark brown polish until you really can look at it close up or catch the sunlight the right way, and then you see this glint of a very woodsy green shade. Absolutely love that. That's another one I think will look good on a lot of people. Now let's move on to this Zoya polish. This one's called Charlie. This has a very grayish, neutral type of look to it. So if you're just starting to dabble in green shades, not quite ready to make the plunge into something bright and bold, then this could be a great transition type of shade. It has a very olive khaki type of tone to it that is very understated, but it's definitely still a green shade. It's a good one for crossing over from neutrals into greens, in my opinion. Yet another Orly polish. Can you tell that I love Orly polish formula? This one's called Urban Landscape, and this is a more sheer type of color. This works great as a topper for a more opaque cream type of shade, or you can layer it up and build up the color to wear it on its own for sure. What you see here in the swatches is 3 coats, and that's pretty decently opaque for this one. Sort of the same for the next polish we're going to look at. This one comes from Cirque Colors. It's called Introverde. This is another very sheer one that can either be built up on its own or layers beautifully over other polishes. I am actually wearing a combination of Urban Landscape and Introverde. I just did 2 coats of each, so 2 coats of Urban Landscape first. Let those completely dry, and then 2 coats of the Cirque Colors Introverde on top. And this just gives a beautiful opacity. It's really, really shiny and shifty. Is it pink? Is it green? Is it gold? I just love the way that this translates into a colorful but not necessarily in your face super bright green nail color. And the last nail polish I want to talk about is called Office in the Trees. This one's from Loud Lacquer. I purchased this 100% on the recommendation of my friend Larissa from Polish Lab Rat. And I think this color is the most gorgeous, rich, deep, foresty emerald shade. I like that it has a little bit more blue to it, so it does come across as a little bit more cooler toned since it's more blue leaning. As you can see, we have a wide range running the gamut of green nail polish colors here. I could have probably come up with 6 more, but these are definitely my current go-to favorite green shades. Now let's move on to some eye makeup. I could throw some lip colors. I have a couple of green lip colors, a couple of green highlighters. I could put those in here, but honestly, they're just not what I like to wear. I really like to wear green on my nails and on my eyes. So what you're gonna see are nail polishes, eyeliners, all kinds of single shadows, a couple of palettes. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to do their favorite green palettes for St. Patrick's Day, which is awesome. I love that. I would totally do a favorite green palettes video, but I just wanted to switch it up and do something a little bit different, especially because I do have such a deep love for wearing these green eyeliners in the waterline, green nail polishes of all kinds layered on top of each other. So I just thought it would be fun to switch it up and maybe bring something a little bit different to your YouTube homepage today. These are 2 duochrome eyeliners that you've seen me wear many, many times if you've watched my YouTube tutorials. I love to put a shifty, metallic, bright pop of color in the waterline to really accentuate my eye looks. I don't do a lot of like cat eye, liquid liner, things like that, but I love to use a bright pop of eyeliner in that lower waterline. It gives me a little bit of pizzazz without having to do a whole lot of very difficult eyeliner work and symmetry and all that. So I love both of these. I've used them a ton. You've heard me talk about them so much. I'll try not to harp on my favorite things over and over again on this channel, but no promises. When I love something, I love it hard. I have a handful of liquid eyeshadows that I want to talk about now, 2 of which come from ColourPop. They are the Chrome Liquid Shadows in the shades See You Later and Beetle. I did do a whole swatch and review video with these when they released a while back, so I will try to remember to link any relevant reviews, tutorials, and things like that in the description box. If something here catches your eye and you want some more information about it, or you want to see more swatches, comparisons, see it in action, then I will try my very best. But if I forget, just remind me in the comments and I will certainly go back and link those videos for you. While we're here talking about liquid shadows, I wanted to mention this cream eyeshadow. This is from the brand Kulfi. It's one of their Zari Eyes cream shadows, and this is the most gorgeous, vibrant, yellowy chartreuse. It has a little bit of a shift to it. In a lot of lighting, this can look a lot more yellow than green, but in my opinion, it's definitely a chartreuse color more than yellow. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it. I think this is such a cool product. It's one that I kind of took a gamble on and spent quite a pretty penny on, and it's just been so beautiful, high performing, and you know, it's a really, really fun special color. So I just wanted to bring this one back out into the spotlight and swatch this shade for you as well. You already know that you are not going to get out of this video without seeing at least a couple ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Super Shock shadows have been some of my most consistently loved and used products over the entire lifespan of the Makeup.Just.For.Fun channel. And these 2 shades, Moonwalk and Empire, have been longtime favorites. I actually just recommended Moonwalk in my ColourPop sale, site-wide sale recommendations video. Moonwalk is another great green for somebody who is more neutral and just trying to branch out, but not comfortable going super, super bold. This has a brown, olive, gold shift to it, and it's just faintly green. It's very gorgeous, very flattering. And then if you really want to go for that more emerald jewel tone type of green, which I absolutely love. I wish that I had more shades like this in my collection. This is Empire. This is an absolute stunner. You could probably tell from the talking portions that I love a really rich jewel toned emerald green like this. ColourPop makes a lot of beautiful green shades, and if I ever do a favorite green palettes video, then you'll probably see a lot more of them. But I am going to switch gears over to some more indie brand favorites now. I want to talk about some of my favorite green single eyeshadows now. I am constantly drawn towards these two shades from Cleona. The first one that I'm going to swatch is called Iron Gate. Right next to it is a gorgeous shade called Viridian. Iron Gate is bronzy, brassy type of green, but definitely still a fresh, crisp green to it. At the same time, it reminds me of the patina that a copper might develop. And then Viridian, honestly, now that I'm swatching it here and I'm thinking about the context of all of my favorite green eyeshadows, Viridian is kind of similar to the shade Misty from my Flora Story palette. No wonder I'm so drawn towards it, because Misty is one of my favorite green shadows of all time. Viridian is a little bit darker and has more of a brown duochrome shift to it. And then for some deeper, more of those jewel tone emerald type of colors, we can switch over to my Terra Moons single shadows. These two shades are called Beyond Apollo and Green Goblin. I didn't go through and check to see which of these products are available, what's been discontinued. I really just went through and pulled my favorite thing. So hopefully we could still find some of these if I swatch something that piques your interest. But I can't guarantee that. I'm sorry. It just occurred to me that some of these indie shadows may be out of stock or discontinued. Anything that's still available, I will link down in the description box. But let this also be a reminder to you that you may have some of these things already in your collection and you haven't dug them out recently, or maybe you have something similar and it's time to show that some love. It doesn't always have to be about, buy this thing, but it's just like, hey, I like this thing. What do you like? Is more my thinking. Especially when it comes to these two, which I have to mention in a favorite greens video, because when I want green, when I think of green palette, my brain goes straight to Flora Story and Hela palettes. These are collaboration palettes. The first one is with yours truly. The Hela palette is with my friend, your friend, our queen of color, Angelica Nyqvist. And these palettes are no longer available, but they are my favorite greens, so I have to mention them. It would be weird if I didn't, and I'm sorry if you missed out on these and me talking about it reminds you, makes you sad. I truly do apologize, but hey, Flora Story was available for almost a year, so I was really happy that we were able to have it available for so long. And I mentioned earlier my favorite green is this shade called Misty. I also love this more blue-based color called Lush. It's a more blue-based green, but it has a bunch of blue shimmer in it as well. And these two always, I struggle not to use them every time I use this palette, because they're my two absolute favorite green shimmer shades. And then switching gears over to Angie's Hela palette, I love the greens in here. These are very, very different. These are a lot more warm toned, a lot more of those golden greens, which I am also very drawn towards. But I have to say, one of my favorite shadows in this palette is this dark green matte shade, because it's such a perfect rich emerald color. And I find myself sometimes pulling this palette out just to use that emerald matte shade because I love it so much and I think it looks really good on me. Last couple of palettes I want to mention are these two very, very green palettes that are definitely currently available. Since I just mentioned some unavailable, sold out ones, let's talk about the Nomad Wild Atlantic Way palette. This is their Ireland palette. I recently reviewed this, and I also will have a 2 looks video coming with this. So far, I have done already 2 looks in previous videos. This is such a green palette. This is an Ireland St. Patrick's Day green as green could be palette. I love the supporting colors in here that aren't greens. I have been giving this palette lots of love, as you can see by the destroyed imprints. I gave it a great review and I continue to enjoy it. So this definitely belongs in my favorite greens video. And it would be insane for me not to mention the Fantasy Cosmetica Druid palette, which is, in my opinion, one of the best palettes in my entire collection. I just got this brand new one because it got new packaging. So my old one is much more beat up. This one is pristine and beautiful. Let's just admire the pristine beauty of it for now because I've been keeping to using my older packaging palette, but I wanted to show you this updated one because it's just so very beautiful. I love this palette. The year that it came out, what was that, 2022? It was my best palette of the year. A great balance. Again, I just have to mention it because I love it so, so very much. It continues to be a staple, continues to be a favorite, just like a lot of these things are products that have been in my collection for a really long time, things that I have mentioned in favorites videos, sale recommendation videos, comparisons, tutorials. A lot of these products are truly just my favorite greens. Some you haven't seen as much, and I wanted to try to infuse a couple of newer things in here, particularly some of the liquid eyeshadows and nail polishes that I don't tend to talk about as much. But I also want to sneak in a little extra recommendation. This Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato perfume. I know it's not technically green, but has green packaging, and I love it so much. I've already used so much of it. So, hey, if you're not feeling green makeup, you can have some green perfume instead. Does that count? I think that should count. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my talking face now. Bye. I had lots of fun with this one. I hope you have a magical St. Patrick's Day. And, I hope you have a whole magical year filled with loving green makeup. Doesn't have to just be in March. You can love green anytime. I know I do. And even if you're not fully converted to the green eyeshadow, green nail polish way of life just yet, then maybe this video will pique your interest and you will find something new and green-tastic to fall in love with. Let me know which color you want to see next. Did you like the eyeshadow only format better? Is this more fun? We're just experimenting, This is Makeup Just for Fun. We can just try out new things and enjoy them, and if we don't like them, we can just change it up next time. So I would love to hear what colors you want to see next, what type of makeup you want to see, what kind of build your own palettes you want to see, just anything, whatever's on your mind. Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. The awkward moment when I literally just painted my nails purple. But I have a green shirt, I have green eyeshadow. I think it might be a little much. And I have these sort of blue-green earrings on. You gotta break it up a little bit somehow, you know? You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna go, "Oh, I just used that. That's why I was turned around the wrong way." Oops. I don't wanna go so matchy-matchy that becomes a joke. Even though, I mean, I've heard worse jokes. This cheek combo, by the way, is so cute. It's this Essence Baked Blush. This is Goldie Cassis. I love this one. Paired with the ColourPop Pretty Guardian Moon Kingdom highlighter on top. Just the littlest bit of this right on top of that blush just gives it that little, like, hint of purpley reflection. This is a really cute combo. I like it. I know I've used it plenty of times before, but I've been doing, like, really pink cheeks lately, so it's fun to switch it up. Okay, cool. I think that's it. I know I don't have that many like funny outtakes. Sometimes I just don't have them. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I do when I don't because that would be awkward and weird, and I'm already awkward and weird enough on my own. I don't need any help. You know what I mean? Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around to the end. And I just love your face. That's all there is to it. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye bye.